Susan Cox Powell, a loving mother of two young sons, disappeared from her home in West Valley City, Utah, under suspicious circumstances in early December 2009. Susan's husband, Josh Powell, was named a person of interest in her disappearance and refused to cooperate with authorities throughout the investigation. Less than 2 weeks after Susan's disappearance, Josh moved his sons to Washington State to live with his father, Stephen Powell. In September 2011, Stephen Powell was arrested for voyeurism and child pornography. Charlie and Braden Powell were removed from the Powell home and Josh's custody for their protection. The state then placed the children temporarily with Susan's parents, but Josh was allowed supervised visitation. In February of 2012, during a supervised visitation with the two boys, Josh Powell pulled his sons inside the house, locking the supervisor out. He then set fire to the house, brutally murdering his two children and committing suicide to escape justice. Testimony from friends and family revealed that Susan Cox Powell was a victim of domestic abuse during her marriage. Susan has never been found.
I am director of the Chainbreaker Foundation. The Chainbreaker Foundation is joining with the Susan Cox Powell Foundation to raise awareness and stop the generational patterns of abusive, destructive behaviors. Most cases are well hidden and unknown unless something drastic brings it before the public eye, like a fatal, tragic assault.
In our family, it was obvious that Dad had problems. Abuse is often learned from our parents, and we repeat the cycle in our own families. When our parents divorced, my siblings, including Josh, chose to stay with my dad. I chose Mom. I think living with our father affected Josh and influenced his future actions. Josh and Susan stayed in my home for a while after their marriage. He was so controlling that he wouldn't even let Susan go to church activities with me at times. What I know is that Josh and I both had a choice. He chose one way, and I chose another.
Neither Susan nor we realized at first that she was in an abusive relationship. The signs were there from the beginning, but we didn't recognize them.
When others pointed out the warning signs, Susan acknowledged them, but felt that if she stuck it out, if she worked on her marriage, she could change Josh's behavior, even though he showed himself unwilling or unable to change.
I wish we could do it again and make some choices differently. Our daughter and her sweet boys would still be with us.
Abuse is a community issue. It can be stopped if we as a community start helping to change these patterns. Education is the key. Families in crisis can break the chains of abuse if they have the knowledge and support to do so. Chainbreakers, along with the Susan Cox Powell Foundation, started by Chuck and Judy Cox, are working together to increase awareness and combine the efforts of other similar groups to achieve their common goals, to fight domestic violence, break the chains of abuse, and assist victims nationally. Many women are trapped in abusive situations because of financial reasons. They are unable to pay attorneys or get the help they need. As a community, we can help them change their situations. Please join us by donating your time or other resources to help break the chains of abuse and restore safety and peace to vulnerable families. You can contact Chainbreakers at chainbreakerfoundation.com or the Susan Cox Powell Foundation at susancoxpowellfoundation.org. Donation information is available at these sites.
Now I can't see them, now I can't hold them inside.